Welcome to this session. In this video lecture, we will discuss about the topic classification of earthworms based on habitat. That means in this video lecture, we will discuss about mainly three different ecological categories of earthworm. First one is epigeic earthworms, second anisic, and the third one is endogeic earthworms. Okay, so we know that earthworms are seen commonly in the soil. Okay, and the area where the earthworms are mainly found, and that specific area is called the drillosphere. Okay, or they are the region, drillosphere is the region of soil around the earthworm burrows. Okay, or where we found, where we can find the burrow of the earthworm, that specific region is called the drillosphere. And in this drillosphere area, you can find the bacterial colony. Okay, there you can find lots of bacterial species inhabiting in this drillosphere area. Okay, so bacteria richly inhabit in this drillosphere. Okay, and there are mainly three ecological categories of earthworm. First one is epigeic earthworm, second is anisic, and the third one is endogeic. Okay, so I have provided here a diagram. Actually, this is a nutshell of this session, this video lecture. Here I have provided the diagram of epigeic earthworm. Okay, and here you can find one of the endogeic earthworm, and here you can find the third one, anisic earthworms. Okay, when comparing the diagram of these three, you can find that anisic earthworms are much larger, isn't it? They are very large in size, and also they live longer compared to the endogeic and epigeic. The anisic earthworms have got larger size as well as they live more. Okay, so the characteristic feature of epigeic earthworms are they can be mainly found in the surface of the soil. Okay, or they feeds on the leaf litters, or they are litter dwellers. Okay, that means they are mainly seen in the surface of the soil and feeding on the leaf litters and other organic matters. Okay, and one another peculiar feature of epigeic earthworms are they have got pigments, or they are darkly pigmented earthworms. Okay, so they are mainly found in the soil surface, and also they are darkly pigmented. They can be easily found in the soil. Okay, and another feature is that they will not form burrows. Okay, they will not form burrows, and their size is comparatively smaller than the other two ecological categories, that is endogeic and anisic earthworms. And the second type is endogeic earthworms. They mainly feed on the soil, or they are soil feeders, and they can also be found in the topsoil, but they doesn't have any pigmentation. Okay, they or they are non-pigmented earthworms, and they form horizontal burrows. Okay, these are horizontal burrows, and these endogeic earthworms are very good for burrowing the horizontal burrows. Okay, and comparing the size of endogeic with anisic earthworms, they have got smaller size. Endogeic earthworms have got smaller size. Also, epigeic earthworms also have got a smaller size. But anisic are very larger, and they live more. Okay, and the characteristic feature of anisic are they eat or they feed both soil as well as the litter. Okay, or they are litter feeders as well as soil feeders. And another important feature of anisic earthworms are they form vertical burrows. Okay, they form vertical burrows, and they are moderately pigmented, or their dorsal surface is more pigmented, and their size is large. Clear? Okay, and these three ecological categories, that is anisic, then endogeic, and epigeic, these three ecological categories are often referred to as ecotypes. Okay, ecotypes. That is, these ecological categories are commonly called as ecotypes. Next, we will discuss in detail what are they. Epigeic worms. First one, epigeic worms. They are, as I have already told you, they are litter dwellers and litter transformers. That means they mainly feed on the leaf litters and other organic litter particles. Okay, they live on the surface of the soil. That is the main point. That is, in case of epigeic worms, they can be easily found in the soil surface in the leaf litter, and they occupy the organic soil horizon in or near the surface litter, and they feed on organic matter, and they are comparatively smaller worms, and if they are get disturbed, then they will move rapidly. Okay, or they have the capacity to move rapidly when they are disturbed. Okay, and typically small worms and show rapid movement upon disturbance, and these worms are darkly pigmented. As I have already told you, these surface earthworms, that is epigeic earthworms, are darkly pigmented, and they doesn't make burrows, and they have high metabolic and reproductive rate. They actually undergo reproduction rapidly, and also they have got high reproductive as well as metabolic rates, but they have got shorter lifespan, or their lifespan is compared to other two ecological categories, they have got shorter lifespan, and their main predators are birds, then mammals and other predatory arthropods. Or these three category, or birds, mammals and arthropods, mainly feeds on these epigeic earthworms. Here I have provided the diagram of three epigeic earthworms. First one is Eudrilus eugeniae. Here you can find the diagram. This is Eudrilus eugeniae. It is also called as African night crawler. Okay, and here another species, that is Eisnea foetida. Okay, and here you can find Perionyx excavatus. Or these three are the examples of epigeic earthworms. Next type is anisic earthworms. As I have already told you, they are very good burrowers. Isn't it? Anisic earthworms are very good burrowers, and actually they can be found more at the night time, or they are more active, or they come out of the burrows at the night time in order to consume more plant detritus which are seen in the surface. Okay, and their size is comparatively larger, and they live or their lifespan is, compared to other two ecological categories, their lifespan is much longer, and I've already told you that they form vertical burrows. Okay, they are larger in size, they live long, and also they form vertical burrows, and they are darkly colored at the head region and have paler tails. They have got an anterior and posterior end. Their anterior head region is darkly colored, or they are darkly pigmented, while their posterior parts, or the tail region, is somewhat paler. And these consume a mixture of soil and organic matter, and thus excrete organo-mineral feces. Okay, and they make piles of cast around the entrance of their burrows. Here you can find the two different anisic earthworms. First one, here you can find Lumbricus rubellus. Here is a species which is called Lumbricus rubellus, and here you can find another one, that is Lampito mauriti. Okay, so these two are anisic earthworms. Next type is, or next or the third category of earthworm is endogeic earthworm. Endogeics are mainly seen, or they are not seen commonly in the soil. Okay, so endogeic lives in the mineral soil and consume organic matter within the soil. Okay, so they mainly feeds on the soil, or they mainly feed upon the organic matter in the soil, and they are not noticed usually. They are not found in the soil surface, or they doesn't come out of the burrow at night time. Usually they are not noticed, but they come out of the burrow during the rainy season. Okay, we can find them easily during heavy rain. Okay, usually they are not noticed except after a heavy rain when they come to the surface. Clear? and these soil feeders are larger, and also they are less pigmented, or they are unpigmented, and they have got longer lifespan compared to the epigeic. Endogeeic have got longer lifespan, and they have low reproductive rates than epigeeic. Okay, compared to epigeeic, they have got lower reproductive rates. Then they make horizontal burrows, as I have already shown the diagram. I will show once again. These are endogeeic. They actually form horizontal burrows. Clear? So they mainly forms horizontal burrows through the soil to move around and to feed. Here I have provided the diagram of an endogeeic earthworm, that is Allolobophora chlorotica. Okay, it is also called as green worm. Okay, green worm. Here you can find the color, which is somewhat greenish, isn't it? So these worms are called green worms. And again, these endogeeic worms are categorized into three types. First one is polyhumic endogeeics, then second one is mesohumic, and third one is oligohumic endogeeics. First is polyhumic endogeeics, that is they work on richer sources of organic matter in the early stages of decomposition, closer to the soil surface or at the soil litter interface. That means they mainly decompose the organic matter during their early stages of decomposition. Okay, that means they work on richer sources of organic matter in the early stages of decomposition. And also these polyhumic endogeeics are moderate, they show moderate pigmentation. Okay, so they possess moderate dorsal pigmentation. That is the difference of polyhumic endogeeics with the other one. Second type is mesohumic endogeeics. That means they have a little or no pigmentation, and they poorly developed escape behavior upon disturbance. That means if we are disturbing, or we are moving close to these earthworms, then they will not show escape behavior. Okay, or they are very slow movers, we can tell like that. Okay, so they have got poorly developed escape behavior upon disturbance, and they mainly feed on well decomposed organic matter. They will not eat on the litter or some other soil particles. They mainly feeds on the decomposed organic matter. Clear? And the third type of endogeeic earthworm, that is oligohumic endogeeics, and these are found deeper in the soil. They are found more deeper in the soil and feeds on more decomposed organic matter, as like the mesohumic endogeeics. Clear? So that's all about the three ecological categories of earthworm, that is epigeeic, endogeeic, and aneic earthworms. Thank you.